The first thing I noticed about her wasn't the crown. It wasn't the fleet of warships hanging in orbit above the station, and it definitely wasn't the dozens of armored guards secretly following her through the crowded marketplace. No, the first thing I noticed was her smile. I was working my usual shift on Outpost 9, a trading station located so far from civilized space that even smugglers called it the edge of nowhere. Business was slow. Most days consisted of repairing cargo drones and listening to merchants complain about fuel prices. That day seemed no different. Then she walked into my workshop. At first glance, she looked like any other traveler, tall, elegant dark, silver hair, bright violet eyes. She wore a simple black coat that concealed most of her features. But there was something unusual about her, something impossible to ignore. Every person in the room seemed to unconsciously move out of her way. Not because they feared her, because they respected her. As if some hidden instinct told them she was important. I looked up from the engine I was repairing. She approached my counter. "I need a power converter repaired," she said. Her voice was calm and confident. I glanced at the damaged device. "That'll take about 20 minutes." She nodded. "I'll wait." As I worked, I couldn't help noticing her watching me, not in a threatening way, more like curiosity. Eventually, I laughed. "What?" She tilted her head. "What do you mean?" "You're staring." "I am observing." That's a fancy way of saying staring. For a moment she looked surprised, then she smiled. The workshop suddenly felt brighter. I pointed a wrench toward her. "You know, you're probably the most gorgeous woman I've seen in this entire sector." The room went silent. A merchant dropped his drink. Someone actually choked. The woman's eyes widened. "You are flirting with me?" "Maybe." "You don't know who I am?" "Nope." The merchant behind me whispered something that sounded suspiciously like a prayer. The woman stepped closer. Her violet eyes locked onto mine. "You dare flirt with me?" I shrugged. "Should I not?" Several nearby customers immediately left the workshop. Apparently they expected violence. Instead, the woman laughed. It was the most genuine laugh I'd heard in years. For a second, she looked less like a mysterious traveler and more like a normal person. "I like you, human. Thanks. You are either very brave or incredibly foolish. Probably both." She laughed again. Then she took her repaired converter and left. I figured that was the end of it. I was wrong. Very wrong. The next morning, every alarm on Outpost 9 activated simultaneously. Emergency sirens screamed through the corridors. The station shook violently. People panicked. I rushed outside. The sight above nearly stopped my heart. Thousands of warships filled space. Thousands. Massive vessels stretching across the stars. The largest fleet I had ever seen. The station commander appeared on every screen. His face looked pale, extremely pale. "Attention all residents. Remain calm." Nobody remained calm. Then another transmission interrupted him. A woman appeared. The same woman from my workshop. My stomach dropped. She wasn't wearing a black coat anymore. She wore white and gold ceremonial armor. A brilliant crown rested upon her head. Behind her stood dozens of military commanders. The entire station froze. I stared at the screen. "No way." The commander immediately knelt. Then every officer beside him did the same. The woman spoke. "I am Empress Lyriana, sovereign of the Celestial Dominion and ruler of over 12,000 star systems." Every person watching gasped. The ruler of the galaxy. The most powerful individual in known space. And yesterday I had called her gorgeous. My brain suddenly remembered every word I'd said. I considered finding an escape pod. Unfortunately, it was already too late. The Empress continued. "I have arrived on a personal matter." "A personal matter?" "Thousands of warships for a personal matter." That couldn't be good. Then she smiled directly into the camera. "My destination is a mechanic named Ethan Carter." The station exploded into chaos. Everyone looked at me. Every person. "Oh no," I whispered. 20 minutes later, I was escorted aboard the largest vessel in the fleet. Its corridors were larger than entire streets on the station. Guards lined every hallway. I felt completely out of place. Eventually, I entered a massive throne room. The Empress sat upon a golden throne. Thousands of lights illuminated the chamber. He swallowed nervously. "Ugh. Your Majesty," she smiled. "Hello, Ethan. You could have sent a message." "I could have. You brought a fleet." "I did." "Why?" Her smile widened. "Because I wished to see your reaction. I couldn't believe it. The ruler of the galaxy had traveled across half the known universe just to tease me. You terrified an entire station." "I know." For the first time, she seemed genuinely amused. Then her expression softened. "Ethan, do you know how long it has been since someone spoke honestly to me?" I shrugged. "No idea. 300 years." That answer surprised me. She rose from the throne. Slowly, gracefully, every guard in the room looked away as she approached. "Everyone fears me." She stopped only a few feet away. They bow. She took another step. They flatter. Another step. They obey. Then she smiled. "But yesterday, you treated me like a normal woman." I wasn't sure what to say because honestly, I had. Not intentionally. I simply hadn't known who she was. She laughed softly. "Most ambassadors spend decades trying to impress me. You repaired my power converter and called me gorgeous within 10 minutes. Good strategy. The best I've seen." For several weeks, I remained aboard her flagship. At first, I expected execution. Instead, I became her guest, then her advisor, then something resembling a friend. Every day, I learned more about the galaxy. And every day, she learned more about humanity. Humans were still considered a minor species. Most galactic powers viewed us as insignificant. Weak, primitive, unimportant. Lyriana disagreed. She admired human creativity, human courage, human determination. Most of all, she admired humanity's refusal to surrender. Then the invasion began. An extragalactic species emerged beyond known space. Their fleets destroyed entire systems. Civilizations that had existed for thousands of years fell within days. Even the celestial dominion struggled. The galaxy panicked. Military leaders demanded retreat. Politicians demanded negotiations. Everyone feared defeat. Everyone except humanity. While galactic governments argued, humans acted. Volunteers flooded recruitment centers. Engineers redesigned warships overnight. Factories operated 24 hours a day. Human colonies transformed into military strongholds. For the first time, the galaxy witnessed humanity at full strength. And they were shocked. The invaders expected surrender. Instead, they encountered resistance, unlike anything they had imagined. Every lost human world cost them dearly. Every battle became a nightmare. Every victory felt like defeat. Months turned into years. Eventually, a final battle erupted near the galactic core. Thousands of fleets collided. Stars themselves seemed to burn. The outcome would decide the future of the galaxy. At the height of the battle, Lyriana's flagship suffered catastrophic damage. Enemy vessels surrounded us. Defeat appeared inevitable. Then human reinforcements arrived. Millions of ships emerged from hyperspace. Millions. The largest fleet in galactic history. The enemy line shattered. The invasion collapsed. Humanity had saved the galaxy. Again, when the war finally ended, celebrations erupted across thousands of worlds. Statues were built. Memorials were dedicated. Heroes were honored. And in the center of the capital world, the Empress delivered a speech. Billions watched. She stood before the galaxy and declared, "Many species possess strength. Many possess intelligence. Many possess power. But humanity possesses something rarer." She smiled toward me. "Humanity possesses courage." The crowd erupted. Then she added one final sentence, the sentence that would become legendary. The human who once called me gorgeous without knowing I ruled the galaxy reminded me that titles do not define greatness. Years later, people still tell that story. Some claim it's exaggerated, others claim it's impossible. I know the truth, because I lived it. And if there's one lesson the galaxy learned, it's this: never underestimate humanity, and never assume the beautiful stranger in your workshop isn't secretly the most powerful woman in the universe.